What? Home business? Income opportunity? What's the buy-in? Oh my God, there's a buy-in. If it's got a buy-in, I ain't doing it. Welcome to working for money for the rest of your life in the most insidious pyramid scheme ever devised upon mankind. That is the dollar. Hear me out throughout this video. You don't even have to agree with me, but for Pete's sake, or for the sake of yourself and your family, let it, I don't know, start to question maybe the way you've been thinking and let it evolve the way you've been thinking, regardless if you agree with me or you think I'm completely cuckoo. It's totally fine. So here's the deal. I love income opportunities because I see money as a way to heal the planet, and I'm doing it. I have more, I can heal more. It's fantastic. I love that. Money can also be used to pollute the planet, and God knows there's a lot of people that are doing that with money. But I see money as a way to heal the planet, so I just want to get that out of the way before you start giving me this high and mighty, oh, Tom, you don't need money to be happy and this and that. You're right. You don't need money to be happy, but there's a lot of people that are starving to death, mostly kids. There's human trafficking, there's children's sex slave rings, there's global poverty, there's the atrocities committed by factory farming, and all kinds of stuff that requires lots of love and money driven by love to heal the planet, just so you know. So when I see some people with absolute absurdity beliefs that, okay, income opportunity, I want one because I need it to pay my bills, and there's things I want to do. I've got dreams and I want to pitch in to help heal the planet, but if there's a buy-in for this income opportunity, I'm not doing it because it's got to be a scam. If there's no legitimate business if it requires a buy-in. If it's real, why would there be a buy-in, and all these kinds of stuff? That's an absolute absurd philosophy to have. What it does is it gives you a very lazy way out. It's a lazy way of thinking. You no longer have to think. You don't have to make a discernment if a business is legit or illegit. If there is no financial investment required of any kind, then I would say that's probably not legit, and I would run as far away as you can from it. Because, I mean, if there's no money being moved, how is anything getting accomplished, and how is a new resource going to be created to do any kind of healing throughout the planet? So when you no longer have to make a discernment between legitimate, illegitimate, good, bad, a good fit for you, not a good fit for you, then it's just a lazy way of thinking, and lazy thinking is poor. If you have a rich and creative mindset, then you're at least going to make a discernment, and if there's a buy-in, that won't even be relevant anymore. It's going to be like, okay, how much is the buy-in, and is the value worthwhile for the buy-in? You know, that kind of thing. Now you have to think and make discernments. So your brain is going to be more rich and creative, and how you do one thing is typically how you do all things. So is that typically the way that you think about things? Do you have, in general, a lazy brain that just throws blankets over everything so you don't have to think? Or do you like to make discernments and, do intelligent research and fast implementation when you make new discoveries? It's a big thing. So whether a business or an income opportunity has $100 buy-in or $1 million buy-in, it's irrelevant to whether it's legitimate or illegitimate. And if you're going to buy yourself out from, any kind of an opportunity to revolutionize your life and your ability to contribute more towards healing the planet, if you're going to throw blanket statements over if there's a buy-in or not, or if it's this type of business or that type of business model, then you keep yourself trapped inside of the most insidious pyramid scheme ever devised upon mankind, and that is the dollar and working for it at your job. Not all incomes are created equal. The job income type, W-2, ordinary earned income, is the kind that enslaves you to the dollar. You trade your time for money, you steal your time for money, and you also literally steal your wealth and your nourishment from your family through the tax code. And it's totally unnecessary, it's needless, but most people don't know about it. So now I just planted that seed in your brain. Hey, start doing your own research and learn about it. I don't want you blindly following me. I'm not here to give you this stuff so that you can just forego thinking altogether and listen to Tom Birkenmeyer. I'm saying this stuff in hopes that, well, I know some of you decide if it's going to be you or not you, but you're going to go out there and start becoming more independent, better educated, free-thinking people. Learn about money, the different types of income, and let me give you a big clue: passive income and residual income. Passive income is the only income that creates freedom. All the others has you a slave and tied to money. When you have a passive income that exceeds all of your expenses, living in luxury, at that point, you're a free human being. But freedom of the mind has to come first. Once you have freedom of the mind, you can get educated, learn a few things, do your research, develop into a bigger free-thinking person. And you learn about this stuff, you can act on it. And the freedom of the mind, what follows that is typically freedom of all kinds, including this wonderful passive income that sets you free. And also with the passive income comes an unlimited ability to be able to give back and contribute more to the world. Without it, you have a limit, you've got a budget, there's an end to it. With the passive income, there is no end. Imagine that. Your heart bleeds to do more for a cause that you just wish you could do more to, but you're so strapped financially and other resources and time-wise on a job that you have and all these other things. It sucks. Get a passive income. Learn about that and become an expert in that. That's going to give you an unending, unlimited ability to be able to give back more. And also this business about getting into a business that has a passive income opportunity. Be eager to pay fair value for it. And one great thing's about, I'm going to transition into the home business industry specifically. A traditional business, you typically need 6 figures or so. Banks aren't going to give you loans for it because most of them fail. So if you're going to get a loan of any kind, it's going to be based on collateral, like, I don't know, your house, everything you own. You risk and lose everything. That's crazy. That's man, a lot of people do it. I mean, they just don't know any better. As for me, the reason I got into the business model that I got into, the home business arena, is because when I started, I had no income, I had no unemployment, I had nothing coming in from anywhere. In fact, I couldn't even use my own money to get started because I was so bad off. So I took on some credit card debt, which I was extremely heavily criticized for doing without having a job or any income. Well, those fools that criticized me, or those people that acted foolishly, I should say, they're still broke working for money at a job. I'm financially free. It took me just a couple years, 2.5 years, to go from putting that kind of credit card debt on me and having no income to pay it off. I got my ass to work as soon as I got into this home business thing. And to this day, I've never missed a credit card payment. And it was also the beginning, my big stepping stone to achieving financial freedom, to where I'm so detached from money. The beautiful thing about a passive income is it detaches you from money. When you don't have it, which is at least 98% of the population, so 49 out of 50 of you watching this is completely attached to money, whether you think you are or you're not. And if you think you're not, stop working at your job and then see if you have any means to pay the bills and nourish your family anymore. You are completely attached to money. And I'm not saying that to put you down, but you should know what it is for what it is. So passive income is where it's at, to detach yourself from money, so money is no longer the priority. You put your energy and your focus into creating experiences with other beautiful people that you want to be around, and your ability to contribute more and all those kinds of things, those causes your heart has bled your whole life to be able to do more for. So now you got this unlimited way of doing it, as well as you got your freedom now, and nourish your family and all these other things, fun to dream, all these things. It's a beautiful thing. Passive money and residual money tied into that allows you to build up the passive money more quickly versus not residual. That's important too. And the home business industry, going back to that real quick, the startup cost for a home business thing is, you can get into almost any of them for under $500. The one I got into is just a couple hundred. And it was the coolest thing I ever did. Even though I had no means of paying off that credit card debt I had to incur to get it, I got my ass to work right away. Never missed a credit card payment. And because I did that, which most people just aren't willing to do, most people are like, Tom, you're crazy. Wait till you got a job till you do it. Even then, it's a bad idea. Skip that. Most people are dead or dead broke before the age of 65, depending on the federal government. Friends and family is the main source of their income. I don't want what they got, so I ain't doing what 98% of the population is doing. And you can make a decision if you want to break away from how most people think and how they act and their interaction with money and with the planet that we live on. You can draw a line in the sand at any time. I did. I was on that side of the fence. I made the transition. Freedom of the mind first, made a decision, and then I went through the process. Head garbage to get over, like there was no tomorrow, tons of head trash. And as I got over that, things changed. My circumstances changed. And I'm a free human being now. No longer having to live underneath the thumb of anybody, a boss or a banker that can tell me what to do. No requesting permission from a gatekeeper to take time off to go spend my time with loved ones or by myself or whatever I want to do. I just got off a 3-week trip that I got to basically plan out impromptu like. I got to spend time with my birth family, which I'm so thankful I finally found after 35 years of searching. That's another story in itself, and I'm so happy to be free to spend time with them and my adoptive family and visit friends across the country. So I was talking to you just now, and then my camera runs out of storage and stops just as I was really on a run there. But I'm going to wrap this up. I'll leave you with this, leave you for now with this. Research the living daylights out of passive income and residual income, because that's where the freedom is. It's your passive money. And I also have, I figured it out, and I'm in the process of mastering it. But it took me two and a half years to become a financially free person, freedom of the mind first, making that decision, and then a 2.5 year process until I personally achieved financial freedom. 2.5 years to retire richer than I was when I was working is the speed of light compared to the job plan, where you work 40 years to retire poorer than you were when you were working. That's a pyramid. That's a racket, in my opinion. I want nothing to do with that anymore. But if this sort of thing turns you on, then let me know. I actually teach it. I've got a 30 Days to Profit training course where I equip people to go out there using their own personality, pulling more of their own authenticity out of themselves, and creating their first residual money and growing a passive income that will exceed all of their expenses, which at that point is a threshold. They're a free human being, but making the decision to be the freedom of the mind first and wanting that. So if that turns you on, just privately connect to me and I will share with you about it. And we'll just go from there. If it turns out to be something you want to do, we'll do it. And if you look at the info and it's like, not for me, then at least you're on your way to finding something that is for you, to build up residual and passive money so that you can just be free, a free human being, a free thinking human being that has freedom of lifestyle, financial freedom, totally detached from money. So just whatever it is, if it's my thing or somebody else's thing, you just get in there and you do it and you perpetuate that message, because that's a very profound message of good and of healing that is desperately needed for most people out there. So I will hear from quite a few of you soon. Every time I do a video like this off the cuff about that, I get an awesome response, and I'm just very grateful about that. So I guess I must be doing something right, and I'm going to teach you as well. Be the best teacher I can, because I'm the best student that I can too, so I can teach it. Student, and then I teach. It's great. Fantastic. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.